Breaking free from your mind's prison. Do you ever feel trapped replaying hurtful memories over and over? Or find your brain rushing to the worst possible conclusions despite little evidence they'll come true? Our minds can entrap us in cycles of destructive thinking that feel inescapable. The non-stop waves of rumination, catastrophizing, and other cognitive distortions can seem like an intrinsic part of who we are. But with the right techniques, we can break through even years-long patterns and create freedom from our mind's suffering. Those strands add up. Unhealthy thought patterns resemble spider webs at first, a single strand here or there that we barely notice becoming woven. Then, gradually, they amass more density until we become wrapped tightly within their grasp. Trapped prey typically struggles futilely as the webbing, sticky grip holds fast, no matter how hard they fight it. When a cognitive trap ensnares your mind similarly today, it likely didn't start that way last month or even last year. Rumination entails endlessly rehashing details of difficult memories without resolution, often while analyzing blame or failures. Catastrophizing takes regular worries and amplifies them to nightmare scenarios, imagining the worst possible outcome. These and related patterns build a mental prison slowly, fueled by distressing emotions and the bizarre comfort of their familiar chaos. Just because you've habitually given in to them doesn't mean they define who you must remain, however. Stepping out of your cell. Escaping even years-long thought patterns requires expanding self-awareness first. Start to notice when cycles of rumination, catastrophizing, etc. occupy your mind, how often and what triggers them. When not caught in the momentum of cognitive distortion, reflect on what purposes it might be serving, however hidden. Naming these habits diffuses their control, opening space to choose your response next time rather than defaulting to what's familiar. Now, when you catch yourself mentally plunging back into unhealthy ruts, as likely will still recur, ground yourself in the present before going further. What emotions arise alongside these thought patterns? What physical sensations do you notice in your body? What are some specific strengths or comforts available to you here and now? Redirecting your focus pulls you out of abstraction and reinforces your right in each moment to pivot from pain towards security. Build better bars. Once greater awareness empowers you to step back from entrenched mental traps upon their activation, preventing their recurrence requires building inner structures and mindfulness muscles. Our brains didn't evolve between useful fretting and useless anguish, so we must actively counter their magnetic pull looking to the light instead. Cognitive restructuring techniques can construct mental guardrails, replacing distressing narratives with reasonable thoughts that uplift and encourage rather than fuel suffering. Meditation strengthens your capacity for recognizing triggers without getting sucked back into old patterns unconsciously. Focused self-care regimens make sure critical emotional and physical needs don't go unmet, so that unhealthy habits become less appealing. Together, these approaches make breaking free from even decades of cognitive spiderwebs possible. In the end, there are always paths forward out of even long confining thought prisons if we seek them. Where repetitive mental snares and dungeons threaten to keep limiting your life, remember, stillness within you endures underneath it all. From that grounding space, you can reclaim each moment's choice to either dwell in anguish or walk on toward freedom. The light finds us when we're ready to let go of the dark.